of St. Peter's College, Colombo, Nigambo branch for your environmental lesson. Today, the lesson is about transportation. Transportation. We'll see what is transportation. Transportation is moving of humans, animals or goods from one place to another place. That means moving something. It can be a human, it can be a thing, or it can be an animal. So when something is moving one place to another place, we call it transportation. Moving one place to another. It can be short distance or it can be long distance. There are main three modes of transportation. There are main three modes. What are these? Air, water, land. So we can transport by air. We can transport by water. We can transport by land. So these are the three modes of the transportation. Next, vehicles. Now we know there are three modes. For these three modes, there should be vehicles to move. We'll see what are the vehicles in these three modes. First, by land. You see, what are the things that we can use to move one place to another in land? Van, taxi, bus, bicycle, motorcycle bicycle, and train. Those are the things, main things. That means there are more things, lot of things in the land we can use. These are few things for you all. For the example, to moving to use when we are using to move by land. Next is water. In water, we can move here and there. So we'll see by what. What is the thing that we can use to move? By water, ship, boat, tug, motorboat, and sailing boat. Those are the different things. Now there are more modified things that we can use. So those are main few things in the water that we are using to transport. Then next is by air. Aeroplane, helicopter, jet, rocket, and glider. Those are also a few things that we are using to transport from one place to another. Now let's go to the next topic. It's about the land. It's about land. How can we transport? What are the things that we'll discuss today? The first thing we are going to talk about the pedestrian. Pedestrian is the main thing that in the road. When we talk about the road, when we talk about the transportation in the land, that means it's a main thing is road. Then we have to think about these pedestrians. What is this pedestrian, or who is this pedestrian? People who walk on the road called pedestrians. What is it? Pedestrians are the ones who walk on the road. That means sometimes we are becoming pedestrian. If we are walking on the road, we are the pedestrian. If someone is walking, anyone who walks on the road, they are the pedestrian. Right. When we are walking on the road, we'll see what should we do. As a pedestrian, when we are walking, we must walk on the right side of the road. It's a main thing. If we are walking on the road, it can be a main road, it can be a sub road, a small one, or anyway, we have to practice to use a right side or right side to walk every time. Then the next one is pedestrian crossing. When we are walking, sometimes we have to go to the next side of the road. We have to cross the road to other side. So every time we have to cross. There's a special place to cross in main road. Especially main road, they have already signed it. They have already uh, put a, they have already separated the place to cross for these pedestrians. What is this place? We call it zebra crossing. We call it zebra crossing. It's a where we have to cross the road every time. It's we can't cross. Yeah, we want. It's really dangerous. Anytime we can knock to any vehicle. So every time we have to find the zebra crossing as much as we can. Because some people, when zebra crossing is few feet away, but they are using just road to cross. But it's not a right thing to do. Pedestrians must cross the road. It makes a yellow-white line. Pedestrian crossing is the place where the pedestrians must cross the road. It is marked in yellow or white lines. It has marked, the zebra crossing has marked in yellow or white. Third one is a pavement. Pavement is the place where the pedestrians walk. It is separated inside of the road. Pavement. In the road, either side, they have separated to walk to this pedestrian. So every time when we are walking, they have to use this pavement. Then we can't meet with an accident. We won't get met with. Right, children. Right. Next, we'll see about the pedestrians. When we are talking the transportation, first we'll go to the land. When we are talking about land transportation, we have to talk about the pedestrians. We must know who are the pedestrians. Who are the pedestrians? We'll see who are these pedestrians. People who walk on the road called pedestrians. People who walk on the road, we call them pedestrians. So sometimes we are the pedestrian. If we are walking on the road, we are the pedestrians. You see, there are a few rules for the pedestrians. When we are walking, we can't walk as we want. There are rules, there has to be a discipline when we are walking on the road. We will see what are they. First is, these pedestrians must walk on the right side of the road. Pedestrian, every time we should walk on the right side of the road. Pedestrian crossing. Next is pedestrian crossing. Zebra crossing is this zebra crossing. We call this pedestrian crossing zebra crossing. So this zebra crossing is a place where the pedestrians must cross the road. Every time we have to use this zebra crossing to cross the road. It marked in yellow or white lines. These zebra crossings, I think everybody has seen this, everybody has used this. It's marked with what are colors? Yellow or white. Next is pavement. is a place where the pedestrians walk. Pavement is a place separated for the pedestrians to walk. It is separated inside of the road. It's separated sides of the road. Either side it has separated. So first is we have talked about the side that where we should walk. It is the right side of the road every time, even it is a main road, even if it is a sub road or small walking path. Learn to use the right side of the road to walk. Next is pedestrian crossing. When you are crossing the road, you must use the pedestrian crossing. Main road, especially main road, they have not the pedestrian crossing. So some people, even the pedestrian crossing is a few feet ahead, they won't use. They don't want to walk to that. They just cross the road. What will happen? It's really dangerous. Somewhere they will not. So every time, children, you must from the small days learn to use the pedestrian crossing to cross the road. If it is can't be seen anywhere, so careful to cross the road. But if there is a pedestrian crossing, learn to use this pedestrian crossing. Next is the payment is, if there is a payment, you learn to use this payment to walk. Don't go to the road to walk. It is a separate place for us. When you are walking, separate for other pedestrian. If you are a pedestrian, you have to walk on the pavement. When you are walking on the road, there are signs. I think everybody has seen different signs on the road. We'll see few of these signs to learn what they say. Each sign, they mean something. They are giving a message to us to do or not to do. There are things to do. There are things to avoid. So we'll see the main signs and we'll learn what are these, what are they saying to us. If you see this sign, what is this sign? The small two children. Can you see small two children? Right. It says children crossing ahead. Children crossing ahead. This is specially given near the schools. Most of all, near the schools, these signs are there because before the school, after school, there are so many children crossing the road, they are walking on the road. So, before the school, they have put this symbol. Here, what they say is pedestrian crossing ahead. This is the pedestrian crossing. This is man is crossing the pedestrian. This symbol. And before the pedestrian crossing, they have put this symbol. Then people know that the drivers know there is a pedestrian crossing. So they have to reduce the speed. This crossing is shown for the drivers mostly to tell them reduce the speed. People must be crossing the road. Drivers know how to go without speeding the vehicle. They have to limit the speed and get ready for this pedestrian crossing. Next is railway crossing. This is a railway crossing. They show before they cross the road over railway, they show because this is a very dangerous place. Sometimes their signal has gone, its railway signal is not working properly. Sometimes the rail gate is not working properly, it's broken or something happened. So when you see this symbol, you have to slow the car, slow the vehicle and get ready. And you have to slow it, put the ID, the side and cross the road. This is very important symbol because The train can't stop suddenly when they see a vehicle. We have to give chance to train. Because of that, they have put this symbol before the railway crossing. Right. There's a horn and they have cut it in a red line. This horn has cut from the red line. That means no. If their symbol is cut like this from the red line, it says no. That means for this symbol it says no horning. It says no horning. So these symbols can be seen near the hospitals, near the schools, near the churches, or like religious places mostly. These symbols can be seen. Then people can't horn because it's disturbing. Sometimes if it is a hospital, it's disturbing for the patient. If it is a school nearby, it's disturbing for children to study. So like that, near the schools, near the hospitals, they have fixed this symbol. This is signal lights. We are going to talk about signal lights also. If there is a signal light ahead, they have shown this to get ready. There's a signal light, you have to be ready to stop or go. You have to be attention, keep attention. For the drivers, they have put this symbol. This is another one. There's a P letter and they have cut it here. Means P shows Peter parking. This P letter says parking, and if it is cut, what does it mean? No parking. P letter says parking. If it is cut, it says no parking. You can't park your vehicle here. They say. So there's a symbol here like this. You can't stop the vehicle around that place. Right. This is another one. There's an arrow. If there's an arrow, they say you can. This is the way to go. This is the way to enter. By arrows, have you seen this? By arrows, they have shown the place to enter. They have shown the place to go somewhere. Yes. But the arrow has cut from the red line. Then what it says? No entry. You can't enter to this place. It has cut. What does this mean? There's a bed, there's a cross. There's a bed and there's a cross. What is it? This is a hospital. Hospital, this bed means hospital bed. That means patients are here. The cross means also patient and hospital. If you see a place like this, it is a hospital is close by. This is bus stop. It shows the bus and in a blue background, blue and white background. Shows buses should stop this place. If it is fixed here, this symbol, buses should stop in this place. If this symbol has cut from the red line, that means no bus stop. If the symbol has cut like this with a red line, it says no bus stop. Buses can't stop there. They have to go. Here a person is working and they showed in a triangle a person is working. Means men at work. That means in a head, in a front, a head There are people working on the road. The road is under construction. Right. Now when we are walking, when we are when we are using our vehicle, or when we are as a pedestrian or any man, this is a very important thing. This is very important thing. What is it? Signal light. Okay? Signal light. Signal light is marked with what are the main three colors? Red, yellow and green. What are the main three colors? Main three colors means only these three colors are there. Red, yellow and green. First is red, second is yellow and third is green. We'll see what does it mean. Each color give a sign to you, telling something to the vehicles and pedestrians. If there is a red light is on, what they say is stop. Even it's for the pedestrian, they have to stop moving, they can't cross it. If there is for the vehicles has to stop. The yellow means get ready for the next turn. Means yellow it's turning on for the red and green both. So we have to be ready for the red or green. Green says go. Now you can go. And the red says stop. So go and stop in between the yellow. Yellow means red. When yellow stop, yellow light comes. What it says, now you have to get ready to go. Now the next one is green. It says now the green light is coming. Get ready to go. Then the red one is there. You have to get ready to go. And next is green. Because has to move. This next session, next one is this transportation. This transportation mainly we can divide it into two. What are these two? One is public and private. Main two is public and private. We'll see what is this public transportation, what are these private transportation. Private transportation means this vehicle, the vehicle that belongs to the one family, belongs to a person for their use. We call it private. Public means anyone can use this transportation. That means it's common for anybody. That is the meaning of these two. This we'll see what is this private. Private vehicles are cars, vans, motorbikes, three wheels, jeep. Cars, vans, motorbikes, three wheels, jeep. These are the vehicles for the private transportation. And public transportation means the bus, train, aeroplane and ship. Bus, train, aeroplane and ship. These are the public. That is for anybody. Anybody can go. Now we will see one by one. Bus. If there is a bus, anyone can go in the bus. They can't say no, you can't get into this bus. It is because this bus is for the public, for the public, for you. And train also same. If a person get a ticket, if a person buy a ticket, they can go by train. No one can say you can't go in this train. It's for because it is for public use. Aeroplane also, it's a cost. It is very costly, but it's for anybody. If we can afford this, if we want to go somewhere by plane, if we can buy a ticket, anyone can go by plane, and the ship also same. So those are the public transfer vehicles using for public transportation. Not like the private transportation, transportation. If we have vehicle, we are looking after it. We are washing it, we are cleaning it, and we are handling as we can. And we are using it to travel as we want. But in the public transportation, there are rules to follow when we are using the public transportation. There are few rules to concern. We'll see what are those rules. Rules to follow when you are traveling in the public vehicle. What are the rules? First one is we have to buy a ticket. We have to pay. We have to pay for our ride when we are going, otherwise we can't go. We have to pay for the ride and travel. Stand in a queue and get into the vehicle. Mostly trains and buses. In the bus stand, in the bus hall, what we should do, what we have to give to next person to get in or get down. They have to come in a queue. Other people used to push each other and they want to get in before the other person. It's really bad thing to do. So we must learn to stand in a proper queue and get into the vehicle. Or when you are getting down also, you have to come down from one after the other without pushing each other. Avoid traveling on the footboard. Mostly young boys, what they do, they like to travel on the footboard. It's really dangerous because their body is outside. Sometimes their hands, the body is outside. Or when they are falling, they can fall anytime. So it's really dangerous to go travel in the footboard. You must not stand on the footboard and go. Every time you have to go inside the vehicle. Even it is a train, even it is a bus, we have to get in. If there is a space, you can sit and go comfortably without standing on the footboard. There are people, even there is a space inside, they used to go in the footboard. No, it must not happen. You have to go inside. Next is, we should not damage the property. We should not damage. What people do when they get into the bus or train, they start to pinch the seats, scrape the paint and cut the seats. They are doing a big damage. Some people, they have done a big damage to these seats and everything, all the places. Sometimes they are removing things and taking, but this vehicle got and they are scraping the paint and so many things happening. So, as a good citizen, as a good person, that's the quality of our life. We have to protect everything, like our ones, like we have to protect the public things also, like our ones belong to us. So, when we are using the public vehicle, we have to use it very carefully. We should not smoke inside the vehicle. No one can smoke in the vehicle. If we are using the public vehicle, we can't use. And if someone is smoking inside the vehicle, we have right to say, don't smoke inside, because it's not good for everyone. A lot of people inside, so no one can smoke inside the vehicle. We should not disturb others When we are using the public vehicle, we can't disturb others. If it is our own vehicle, we can do anything we want. We can sing, we can eat, we can do anything, we can talk louder, anything. But if we are using the public vehicle, we have to be very careful not to disturb others. We can do what we want, but it can't disturb others. We can't sing louder, we can't do. There are certain things disturbing other people doesn't like. So we have to be very careful when we are using the public vehicle not to disturb others. Not, we should not put our hands and heads out from the vehicle. This is for the small children, mostly small children. What they do, they like to put their head out from the vehicle. They like to put their hands from the vehicle. This is common for the private vehicle also. When they are going on their private vehicles also, we have seen some children, they are putting their heads and hands outside. No, even public or private, no one can put their heads and hands out from the vehicle. It's very dangerous. Right, now we are going to very back, means out to our ancient time. Ancient people, we came to this this modes of transportation developing what the ancient people has invented. The old, our ancestors has invented something, and they have at the present day, little by little, it has developed, and it came like this, like rockets, jets, and the big ships, everything. And bullet trains up to this, it has developed because they have invented something in very old time. Let's see a few things. What are those? These are sailing boats. It uses sail. These are the sails. They use these sails to move the boat. When wind comes and hit to this, by the pressure of the wind, it moving the boat. Then they have found this method to move the boat by the wind. So they use this for the boat to move and for the transportation. The bull cart, we call it bullock cart. What they say, when people first they have in the land, they use animals to carry their thing. After that, they invented the wheels. After they invented the wheel, what they do? They fix the wheels and they invented this cart, and they joined the animal to pull the loads, and they invented this, and they use bulls and horses to pull these carts. And these are horse carts, we call it carriages also there. Barge means it's a flat big thing to move the things they use. Canoe, it's a small boat. Handcan, this is especially for the royal families, high caste families like kings, queens. They didn't walk. What they do, they use this to travel. It's raised by the people. Now, they are using this transportation, the vehicles, all the vehicles to do our work easily, to travel place to place quickly. But in this when we are using these vehicles, there are good and bad both. So there are no good thing because people can move quickly, like place to place. Nowadays, from few hours we can go to anywhere in the world or in a country to country or place to place. In few hours we can go from Sri Lanka to America, or from here to UK, from here to Maldives. We can go quickly, like by few hours. We can go anywhere in the world. But it's very easy. We can send anything quickly to the anywhere in the world. But there are bad effects also in this traveling. We'll see a few bad effects what from this traveling, from these vehicles that we are using. First is black smoke and noise. This is very bad and it's affect to this environment. Black smoke means is bad to the environment. It's bad to human and animals also. With this black smoke, when we breathe, what happens? People getting different sicknesses because of that. How many vehicles? I think you have seen how many vehicles in the road in the evening time, especially morning time also. How many vehicles on the road? Big traffic in the Colombo or Colombo or anywhere. The main cities or other places also. Roads are full and airports are also filled with planes. So in each vehicle they use fuel. With this fuel, what is happening? When it's burning, we get smoke. The smoke is very bad for the environment. And the noise. The vehicles coming from the noise is also air pollution. Because of that noise also bad for environment. And accidents from the pedestrians, they are not obeying the rules. Sometimes the drivers, they are not obeying the rule because of the many vehicles. There are so many accidents per day happening in the country, in the world. So many accidents and so many people are killed by these accidents per day. And increasing traffic. I think you have this experience, like hours and hours we are staying, like sometimes more than 40 minutes we are staying in one place to go to cross the traffic light. Why? Because of many vehicles. So increasing the traffic means increasing traffic means there are more vehicles on the road. So we have to avoid this by black smoke and the noise. We must not. The other thing is this noise. For the noise, our country, most people used to horn. For every single thing they used to horn. We have to avoid this. It is very bad thing to horn every time. And the smoke also, we have to check the vehicles whether condition is good. If there is anything wrong, we have to mend it, we have to fix it, and we have to make a proper vehicle for the road. And the accidents also, we have to be very careful as a pedestrians and as a drivers. And we have to use the public vehicles. If we use the public vehicles as we can, actually can. Most of people use the public vehicle, we can decrease the traffic. Then we don't have to take the vehicles. When each family take their vehicles out, there will be more traffic. If we use the common public vehicle, we can decrease we can minimize the traffic in the country. Okay children, now this is the end of our lesson. I think you have gone through this about the transportation. So there are rules to obey as a pedestrians, when we are using the public vehicles and the road signs, everything. So I hope you will get through this and to your worksheet also. So see you with the next lesson. God bless you all.